you for joining us. We're gonna begin very shortly. If you signed in, thank you for signing in.
All right, so welcome, folks.
Anything else that's happening?
Are folks ready to get started? Thank you for bearing with us. I know you're making some new friends, super exciting. We have lots of chances to get to know each other. My name is Dr. Annie Isabel Fukushima. I'm the Associate Dean of Undergraduate Studies, and I'm working with some lovely folks. You're all here for the Early Exploration Scholars Program, the orientation. If that's why you're here, then you're in the right room. If you're not here for that, then you're in the wrong room. So just double check your calendars. Welcome to our friends who are joining on Zoom. Congratulations to all of you in the room and all of you in the Zoom room. We're going to go ahead and get started with Jennifer introducing herself first.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jennifer Santiago. You probably have received a bunch of emails from me. Welcome. I am the Academic Program Coordinator here in the Office of Undergraduate Research, and I'm the point of contact for the Early Exploration Scholars Program, as well as I handle some of the scholarships also in the office.
So if you have a question, send it to Jennifer.
Send it to me.
Yeah. We also have another person in the room, Shelley, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Sally Parker. I do the events for the Office of Undergraduate Research, so I'm in charge of the education series and the proposal.
Yeah, my name is Angie Leva. I'm an academic program coordinator at the Office of Undergraduate Research, and I am the point of contact for the summer program for undergraduate research. Shorthand for that is SPUR.
All right, folks, so we're getting started. I already introduced myself. You've already met some members of our team. There's also Cindy Graves, who's my associate director, and we also hire undergraduate research leaders who serve as ambassadors for the office. And so I do not believe any of our leaders were able to join us today, but if any of you want to schedule an appointment, you're welcome to. So for today, you're gonna hear a little bit from me. But really, the real boss of today is Jennifer. She's going to take a bulk of the presentation. I'm just here to welcome you all. So that will be followed by more information from Jennifer, as well as our opportunities with the office. So just a little bit about the overview of the office and undergraduate research. The mission of the office is to facilitate student and faculty collaborations when it comes to research. You all are here to participate in the journey. Many of you are early in your academics and interested in doing research or getting involved in research early on here at the U. We may have some folks who are transfers from other universities. That's totally fine. You're all in the same place and have all been accepted. The Office of Undergraduate Research reports up to undergraduate studies. And just a really quick thing, the office has been around since 1987. I know some professors here who are now faculty here who were actually one of our first Europe scholars. So we've been around for a while, and many of our colleagues who are in programs like Europe, SPUR, and now Early Exploration Scholars Program end up doing wonderful work. We're so excited. You all are in the inaugural semester of the Early Exploration Scholars Program. This is the first time we're doing it. We're launching it with all of you. So congratulations to all of you. So just a little bit about the office's commitment. The Office of Undergraduate Research is committed to your success in participating in research. As many of you know, the University of Utah is an R1 university. Have you heard of that? An R1 institution, that kind of phrase. It's okay if you haven't. An R1 is just a category standing with the Carnegie, which says that we do tons of research. So our faculty are getting federal, private, tons of grants to do research, and our students are part of that research enterprise. What it means then, you are generating and sharing knowledge, as well as you're participating in a range of activities that Jennifer is going to tell you a little bit more around our educational content. So this image here just kind of gives you a big overview of what the office does. We're all about that faculty and student collaborations. Jennifer's going to talk a little bit more about that. You may hear me chiming in because I am a professor here at the University of Utah, and we can't help ourselves. Education and outreach, you're going to hear a little bit more about that as well, because that's part of your requirements. And Jennifer's going to walk you through some of the opportunities and how you can get connected to some of our research advising. So one of the things we just like to say about undergraduate research, when you participate in undergraduate research, you are participating in something that we see as a public good. Many of you are doing research that is going to change our society, whether it is relationships, visual cultures, the arts, even in medicine and engineering and science. So many of you will be participating in research that literally is impacting our society. Our students, because you participate in research and you go off and do things, whether you go to graduate school or you get jobs, these are skills that you're going to take with you for the rest of your life. But there's some things that you should all know about research and why it's really good for you to participate in it is that it does receive high rates of our students who participate in research getting retained and going on to graduation. So if graduation is your goal, participating in research, you're more likely to meet that goal. You also make career decisions as well as you develop some seminal skills. And so I'm not going to really go into the GPA, but I just wanted to welcome you all and say congratulations. We believe the reason why we started this program is because it's important for students to start research earlier on in their academic journey. And so that is why we prioritize the first 60 credits here at the U. Some of you might be transfers, but many of you are in your first and second year, is that correct? Do we have a lot of first and second years? Some of your transfers, it's okay, you're all awesome, right? We want to get you earlier on and getting you all participating in research. 25% of our students who participate in research here in our programs are transfer students. And so our office, Jennifer is going to run through some of the opportunities. Our office funds about 700 students every year to participate in research. It's very competitive, it's wonderful opportunities. So I'm just here to welcome you, congratulate you, and say that I'm a resource for you and your faculty. But really, if you have a question, please do start with Jennifer. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Fukushima. Welcome everybody again. We're just gonna go over a little bit of the Early Exploration Scholarship Program and what's required of you during this semester. So a lot of you know that there was an award scholarship, $500. It has been awarded and dispersed into your tuition accounts. If you have not seen it yet or have questions specifically about the scholarship, I would suggest to speak directly to the scholarship office or reach out to me directly just to ensure that it was dispersed into your account. The other requirement is the pre-survey. You all should have received an email of the pre-survey. If you did not receive the email, the link is here, but you can also contact me directly. My email is jennifer.santiago@utah.edu, and I can send that information to you. The deadline to submit the pre-survey is tonight at 11:59 p.m. Okay? You must also attend 2 undergraduate research education series. As you met Shelley over here, she's the one that handles all the events for the undergraduate education series. We recommend that you attend the mentor panel, which is on February 6th from 12:30 to 1 p.m. And also the student panel, February 21st, 10 to 4 p.m. I do realize that a lot of you have classes during certain times and dates. We only require that you attend one of them live. And the other one can be, you can watch the pre-recorded session. You will have to complete the undergraduate research evaluation form after viewing either the recorded version or the live, just so that I know that you attended. And if you have any questions, you can always, again, follow up with me. This is where you would find the education series. There you will also find the evaluation form. It is also provided to you throughout the event. So Shelley will provide that throughout the event, either at the beginning and also at the end, just to remind you that you do need to fill out that form. Another requirement is research tours. We have about 10 tours that are on our website currently. You only have to register for one. You have to register and attend for one of the tours. They're throughout the month of March. They do begin after spring break. So it should give you some time to figure out which tours you would like to attend or which tour you like to attend. Now, there are different dates and times. If for whatever reason, please reach out to me if you have an issue reaching out. They are limited. Some of the tours only allow up to maybe 6 students. Some of them allow up to 15. So make sure that when you are registering for the tours, that you register as early as possible.
Jennifer, can they attend more than one tour?
You can attend more than one tour. However, it's only required that you attend one. Another requirement for the early exploration program is to meet with a prospective mentor. Some of you may have done research in the past, some of you may have not. So one of the requirements is to meet with somebody to make a connection and, just take it from there and see if you're interested in the research. One of the reasons for the tours is to meet faculty mentors there. You can connect with them or you can connect with your own professors and their research. We would suggest to try to do that by April 15th. You can find faculty on the faculty database by using this link. If you've never met a professor about research, you can click on this link. It's how to find a mentor. On that page as well is a prompt that you can use when emailing professors. And I'm gonna show you that prompt really quickly here. So it's just a brief prompt if you've never reached out to a professor. I know it can be a little scary to talk to professors. So you can word it similarly to this, but we always like to tell you guys to include yourself. Don't write it verbatim. Try to include why you're interested in their research or why you would like to meet with them, just so they can kind of get a feel of who you are. If faculty do not respond right away, you can send another email. You can also reach out to other faculty by using the database that I showed you in the previous slide. And also check for office hours. Maybe the professor has an office hour that works with your schedule. You can meet with them in person, or you can schedule a time to meet with them. Now is a little video of getting started.
Are you curious about getting involved in research, but don't know where to begin? Let's walk through the steps together. Step 1. Decide on a topic. Step 2. Find a faculty mentor who's researching at your institution on a similar topic. How? At OUR, we provide a database with all of our faculty mentors. For example, you could type in environment, and you will see who's researching on that topic. Step 3. Connect with the professor. Start with an email. In your email, introduce yourself, your desired research topic, and the reasons that you're interested in that field and this particular mentor. If you're looking for some inspiration, feel free to explore some sample emails available on our website. Feeling unsure about the exact topic you want to research? That's absolutely normal. The OUR website features the OUR Research Opportunity Database. This tool can help you find various opportunities where faculty are recruiting student researchers. Step 4. Fund your research. We offer diverse programs like UROP or SPUR that can provide you with financial support for your research. Still need more support in getting started? Schedule a chat with our peer mentors or staff members, or drop by our Funding Fridays every week to get quick answers to your questions.
Okay. We also suggest that you check out the undergraduate symposium for inspiration. We offer the undergraduate symposium summer, spring, and fall semesters. The spring, we welcome posters, talks, performances, and art installations. So that one is in person. For the summer, poster presentations only. It's one of our bigger symposiums. And then fall, we have virtual presentations. The deadlines for spring is approaching, is gonna be April 9th. The deadline to register is March 17th. We can review your poster. You just have to follow some guidelines. Is it organized? Are you acknowledged or co-author? Is OUR and other funding sources properly acknowledged on your poster? All UR scholars are required to present at symposium before they graduate. We'll talk a little bit more about UR, a little bit more into the session. On our page, we have a getting started, find a mentor, OUR funding, and a research database. This research opportunity database includes different opportunities that faculty mentors will post on there for their research. If they need assistance, something that you're interested in, you can view by college. You don't necessarily have to do research in your concentration or your major. It can be in anything else that you may be interested in. But this is where we would suggest to look for research. Okay, now we're going to talk a little bit about the post survey. The post survey, as I mentioned before, actually the pre-survey that I mentioned before, this is just the post survey. So the pre-survey is supposed to be meant for you all to submit what your confidence is with research. Post survey is to see how you feel after the semester. So this has to be done before the semester ends, so the last day of classes is adjusted. And the link will be available online, but I will also be submitting that to you guys via email before the semester ends, okay? Now, funding opportunities at OUR. We spoke about Europe. I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with Europe. It is an undergraduate research opportunity program. Europe provides undergraduate students and mentors the opportunity to work together on research or creative projects. Europe awardees are hired as temporary employees by OUR and are paid $1,200 for 120 hours of research or creative work during the semester. So you would create a schedule with your professor or faculty mentor to work during the semester, and you'll be paid out as an employee. So it's not one lump sum, you get paid it's semi-monthly. Students may apply for Europe any semester and may be eligible for one semester renewal. So Europe is offered fall, summer, and spring. If you attend, let's say in the spring, and you wanna renew it for another semester, you can. You would just have to apply for that. Another opportunity that we have is a summer program for undergraduate research, which is SPUR. You met Angie, she is the point of contact for SPUR. It's national competitive summer opportunity, $5,000 stipend, as well as on-campus housing for those that need it, and new card benefits. This semester for the summer term, the deadline is January 28th, so that is approaching. So if you can't get in this semester, no worries, we have next summer. And if you have any questions, again, you can reach out to Angie directly, or you can email our@utah.edu. Then we have travel and small grants as another opportunity. Students can apply for research grants to help support their work, such as travel grants. So some students may do conferences, they need airfare, lodging, mileage. We offer $500. Small grants are used for research supplies, training fees, or other costs. There are certain deadlines, they're based on monthly basis. We do not usually do reimbursements, so we do suggest if you do need the money for travel or supplies that you apply beforehand, before you buy anything. And then you put it towards whatever you need. We also have scholarships. We have 3 scholarships. The D Foundation, which is offered in the fall semesters. Students do, it's related to research, they're all related to research. But students' research contributes to the well-being of Northern Utah residents. That's what the D Foundation is for. Francis Family Scholarships are preferred students majoring in the arts, social sciences, humanities, or interdisciplinary fields. Parent Fund are students who have completed 2 semesters of Europe or seniors who have applied for spring graduation. And they just need more funding for their research. We have the Monson Essay Prize. It's an annual prize awarded to undergraduate who writes an outstanding paper on the subject of social change. The link is on here as well. You can check out the page. The deadline is March 1st to submit. And it's in honor of Charles H. Monson, a distinguished alumni and a longtime member of the U of U philosophy department. Then we have the URSD, which is the Undergraduate Research Scholar Designation Checklist. So what this is just, it will be posted on your transcript as an award to show your commitment to research. So in this case, you would need to have completed 2 semesters of undergraduate research. It could be in Europe or any type of research, presented at an OUR undergraduate research symposium at least once, and submitted to our Range Undergraduate Research Journal, which I'll discuss a little further. Sharing your research. Range Undergraduate Research Journal. It's a journal where a lot of our students who have done research at the U will submit an article of some kind. It can be an abstract, it can be a full-on research paper. It's diverse content, wider visibility for all undergraduate research. We have just published our issue 2 for 2023 at the end of December, so it is available to view, and you can view all the students that have submitted. For the first issue, there were 2,126 unique visitors over a 4-month period. First issues usually are published sometime in the summer, and then for the fall term, they're published in December, ending of December. But it is a requirement for undergraduate research scholar designation. Some more resources for you. Funding Fridays and R&D Lab. Funding Fridays are offered every Friday from 11 to 12 via Zoom. This is just an open session. So let's say you want to schedule something with somebody, but like one of the staff members or one of the peer leaders, you're unable to because of your time or your schedule. We have R&D Lab as an open Zoom session. So if you have any questions, you would just pop in, ask your questions, pop back out. We can also review certain things. So for example, if you were applying for Spur and you need help with your resume or personal statement or things like that, that's what the session is really for. And you can find the link on our website. IRB Lab is a session for students who need help with getting approval for institutional review board. The dates are not up yet, but they will be up soon. But that's also on our website. And then we have research advising, which is not the same as academic advising, which can be a little confusing. But research advising is with one of our staff members or one of our peer leaders. You can schedule a time with us, about a 15-20 minute time to speak with us virtually or over the phone if you have any specific questions about any of our opportunities that I spoke about today, or any questions like we mentioned before, personal statement, resume, or if you just need help trying to find a faculty mentor or how to reach out to a faculty mentor. And the link is here as well. Any questions?
Now, let's pause for
Let's
folks. That was a lot of information, and I'm just wondering how folks are feeling about first the requirements. So you know what you need to do, right? What do you all need to do?
What's first?
We did attend a research tour, right?
Or, okay,
The,
I'm sorry,
the URES and then.
URS events.
How many do you need to attend?
Two,
Sure.
Excellent. How many of them need to be live though?
One.
And then what else do you need to do? You need to find a mentor. What happens if the mentor, if nobody responds to you?
You can look for other, or try emailing them again, or looking for scheduling like an in-person during office hours.
Yeah. And did you have a chance to look at the database, like really show them how to?
No, but I can go back and show.
Yeah, let's really
Yeah.
show them how to use the database. So when you go to our.newfound.edu, which is our landing page, you're gonna see that there's a database of both faculty. So go to the main page.
Mhm.
Actually, Jennifer, can you just show them the main page, our.utah.edu. So when you're in this main page, the first thing you're gonna see is you're gonna see here, there's two things. There's find a mentor and there's research database. In find a mentor, if you can click on that, you'll find that in the find a mentor, go ahead and open that. You'll see this is where the example of communications Jennifer shared with you all is at. But when you scroll to the top of this page, you'll find that actually there is, here it says view all faculty mentors. Now, this isn't all the 3,000 plus professors here at the University of Utah. This is just a faculty that our office have funded their students. And so these faculty are committed mentors. They regularly work with our office and support students. You may find that you want to work with somebody who's not in this database. That's totally fine. You should still reach out to them. They may not be familiar with what we offer. Go ahead.
So if we're interested in like the SRL Student Research Initiative.
Cool, yes.
And we found somebody who like their research will want to work with them, we could reach out to them as a mentor for this.
Yes, you totally can. So you can also reach out, so you can select different fields. So here, let's say, because you said Science Research Initiative, in case the folks don't know SRI, go ahead and click Science. You'll see that these are all the faculty that have been funded. Their students have been funded by the office. So they're familiar with Europe. They have probably been Spur mentors. They already know how to do this. This doesn't mean that because they're not listed, they can't support you. They totally can. When you click more, so Vahi Bondarayan is one of our associate deans of the College of Science, super cool human being. You will find that here it has a little bit of description in our database, and so you can learn about what they're working on. So I would encourage you to peruse the database. When you go back, Jennifer, you can go back. And then you go into the search field. So can you unclick science? Can you click DNA? Put in DNA. Okay, that didn't search anything. This is great. We're learning all about our features. What about genetics? Because actually the Huntsman, that was something we were starting to see. So these folks do genetics research. So that's just an example of how you might find some keywords in there. DNA, apparently they're not using in their descriptions. It doesn't mean you don't have folks that aren't DNA sequencing. We absolutely do have folks doing that kind of research. But say you're like, you know what, I'm a theater person. Actually, I don't even know what you all are doing. So can you all maybe in the room tell us what is it that you're interested in? Just say your major or intended major. We'll just go around the room. Go ahead. We'll start it here in front and go over that.
Yeah, languages.
Languages, cool. There's lots of languages. Tanya Flores is a regular mentor.
I'm a biology major.
Biology, cool. Lots of biology in there.
Biology.
Biology, you should make friends.
Yeah, so biology.
Oh my goodness, biology's taking over. Okay, let's keep going.
Psychology.
It's like, okay, we've got the brain. There's a lot, you know, that's the biggest major here of the U, psychology. Yeah, when at commencement, when you all stand up, psychology is the largest group.
Mechanical engineering.
Mechanical engineering, cool.
I'm also a mechanical engineer.
Hey, and did you two start talking? I hope you make friends.
I'm also mechanical engineering.
Oh, okay, we jumped to the back. Okay, we'll keep on this row over here. Mechanical,
Health and kinesiology.
oh, here, we have a new one. Okay, great. Great.
Business.
Business,
Biology.
biology. So we've got sciences, we've got health. We definitely have mentors who are doing health and kinesiology.
I have kinesiology, computer engineering.
Oh, these folks in the Zoom don't want to be left out. That's awesome. Love it. So some of the things you should know is if you're majoring in something, but you're interested, so say health and kinesiology. You want to work with somebody who is in, I don't know, school of medicine, a surgeon. You're interested in that. But you know what, you're like, you know what, I'm not taking a degree in that. Can I still work with a mentor? Absolutely, you should reach out to them. Lots of our faculty in the School of Medicine mentor students, even though they don't have undergrad degrees. They're not granting undergrad degrees at the same robot like health science, whatever, right? Like we have so many other degrees. So that's what I would encourage. Folks doing language, lots of linguists do research as well, right? We have some of our colleagues, such as Karen Schaefer, who's been very much committed to supporting our students interested in language. And so you'll find some here. This is one way to find them. But Jennifer, can you go back to the our.utah.edu page? So when you go here and you see on the right side research database and you click on this, this is actually where faculty are actively looking for researchers. This means that they are either hiring or, so they might pay you, or you can apply for Europe, right? And it looks kind of like our other ones, so don't get confused when you're on this. But what you'll find is when you click on, say, the Rowley Lab, that's just CRISPR, we're all about DNA today. So when we have Chris, like if you want to look at this one, they'll actually explain to you what is the field they're in, medicine, assistant professor, who's doing also, they have their description here. They're doing a bunch of CRISPR stuff. If you scroll down, they'll say, what is it the student's going to work on, right? What can you work with them on? How much time they're looking for somebody to do 10 weeks in the summer, a research assistant, this will be paid. So you kind of want to pay attention to this in the database. If you're looking for paid opportunities, I'm always a fan of paid work. You are welcome to also reach out to the professor and find out, will you do this for credit, right? So can you have this count towards graduation if they don't have paid opportunities? That's another way that some students have been able to have their research count, is they might do an independent study, or they might work with the faculty who has a course that's really dedicated to their research project. So that's how you might find mentors. How often should you reach out? So you reach out to a professor, you emailed them today, a week later goes by, you have not heard from them. What should you do?
Email them again.
Follow up, right? Are you all like, do you all like doing email? Is that your jam? Yeah, you should get used to it because your professors were of a generation that does email, right? And some of your professors may even be like, they don't even respond to emails. You have to literally show up at their door. So different faculty work with different communication styles. If you're really interested in working with the faculty on what they do, you should try to understand their communication style. Some folks are going to do Zoom meetings, are going to connect a lot with you. Some are going to prefer to meet in person. You should try to understand how they want to connect. And I get that you're all really busy. That's just stuff to think about as you are working with prospective faculty. So I encourage you to communicate. I encourage you not to send the exact same message to like 20 different professors. I've had students make typos and they literally meant it for somebody else. Do I respond to that email? No, because it's not to me. So I think, oh, they really wanted to meet with Akiko. My name's not Akiko, it's Anne, right? And so that's just something to keep in mind about professionalism, the attention to detail around when you communicate with the professors. Shelley, yeah.
A question from the Zoom students, how long do we tell our mentor we'll be working with them?
Oh, okay, this is a great question. So right now, this semester as early exploration scholars, you are not required to be actively working with them. You are required to meet with them. If you meet with someone, you have fulfilled your requirements. Does that make sense? But our hope is you actually work with them. Because what a waste of your time if you actually don't get a chance to work with folks. So I would encourage you to keep communicating with folks until you find a partnership to work with somebody, whether it's in the summer or it's in next fall. The summer deadline for Europe is March something.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think it's the 17th.
Oh, but it's in March, right? I
Yeah, it's in March.
Okay, good. I know the month. It's in March. You have lots of time to start building that relationship to apply to work with somebody in the summer for Europe. Europe summer has our highest acceptance rates. Our most competitive semester for students to apply is in for the spring. So that would be the fall deadline, right? We always do things in advance. That's how higher ed works. Also, one thing you should know, if you get rejected, you should just try again. Because that's also how higher education works. It's all about perseverance. You just keep trying until you get it. Yeah, so then the question was about how, do you need to work with them? How long? Well, you should negotiate that. And actually, we do have templates, if you go under our resources, of agreements that you can make with your professors. You should clearly know how long are you working with them, because that actually will help you to plan out your academic journey. If you have somebody who is hoping you only work with them for 2 weeks, right? They just need something very specific, but you are interested in a full-time semester thing, not full-time, but a semester-based research project, that should be clear to you. So I would encourage folks to just communicate with the professor. Most professors are very much about semester-based projects. Some get really excited when students want to work with them for years, right? Some are like, I literally only have this one project. When it's done, your relationship with this project ends, right? And so as long as you're clear, that's something to think about. Can you work with multiple faculty mentor researchers? Absolutely, yes. You should be reaching out to multiple folks. You can work with one person for one semester, build a relationship with somebody, and do another project the next semester. You might not really get the experience of doing the research, so if you're bouncing around that quickly. Really, most research projects really take a year, at least.
They asked, should this exclusively be done after they do the tour or throughout the semester?
So when should you, can you say the question
So
again?
finding a mentor.
Yeah, it says, what is the timeline for finding a mentor? Should this exclusively be done after we do the tours or throughout the spring semester?
You should be reaching out to folks throughout the semester, right, Jennifer?
Throughout the semester, it doesn't have to be after the tours. It's just, if you have no idea where to start, the tours are somewhere to start. You'll meet faculty there. And if you feel a connection with one of them or their research, you can reach out to one of them. It's just a suggestion.
Yeah, we've got a hand in the back in the.
Okay, I was wondering how we let you guys know that we met with the mentor.
I'm sorry?
How do you know you've met with a mentor? How do they let us know?
Oh, you can send us an email.
Just an email?
But we also have the.
Oh, the post survey. The post survey is one of the questions we'll ask you, did you meet with the mentor this semester or faculty mentor this semester? And you'll click yes or no.
And you'll also tell us about your experience.
Yeah, your experience during the semester and with your mentor.
Why does that really matter? Because one of the number one complaints I get from students is, I've been reaching out to professors. No one will respond to my communications.
Mhm.
Do you know what I hear from professors? No one is contacting me. Nobody will reach out to me. I have all this stuff. I want students to reach me. So we're trying to solve that problem with this early exploration connection program to also understand, hey, professors, if you're not responding, we will let them know. And if we notice a trend that there's certain fields that aren't as responsive, we can give, or I should say, we as a media, I give that feedback back to the dean and I say, hey, all these students really want to work with this College of Science professors. I shouldn't pick on science, that's not my field. But you know what I mean? So this is an opportunity for us to understand your experience, but also to problem solve with you. So if you are trying to reach out to faculty and you're regularly experiencing, no one is responding, I would encourage you to schedule an appointment with Jennifer or with one of our undergraduate research leaders to really get the support you need to making those connections. Because maybe it's how the communication is drafted. Maybe it's the particular field and they're not responding right now, right? We might know something about what's going on with their research team. So just connect with us.
We have another question. How long will we be with our mentor and is the symposium mandatory?
Oh, how long will we be with our mentor? So you should always, in the formal, with early exploration scholars, you are again not required to have a mentor. But if you get funding through another program, or if you're doing an independent study, you should negotiate that with a mentor, how long that research dynamic relationship is going to be. I recommend a minimum of a semester. Research shows that when you do 2 semesters of research, you're more likely to have a meaningful experience. So if you can, depending on when you're graduating, highly encourage you to do 2 semesters.
Is that what you mean by a year, or do you mean a calendar year? Is it academic or?
2 semesters is about a year.
Yeah, I don't know if you meant like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and also including summer. That would be amazing. If you could do all semesters, summer, fall, spring, do it, right? All of you should be applying for SPUR, right? Because you're early enough in your academic journey. SPUR is such an awesome program. So Jennifer, you also said another question was about symposium.
Yeah, but Cindy had answered that question.
What
The
was the question?
symposium, she asks, is the symposium mandatory?
Oh, that's a great question. So Jennifer, for this group, is it mandatory you present at the symposium?
No.
Is it mandatory you attend the symposium?
No.
Why would you attend the symposium?
Be inspired, get your interest in, try to see what everybody else is researching in. And then once you decide to present, at least you have ideas and you can see how everybody else does it.
You can also be like, if you see some project and you're like, that project's cool, I really want to do that. You can ask the student, what was it like working with this professor?
Right.
And they can tell you about their experience, right? That could be your question, just to ask them about what it was like to work in that team or with that individual. I would really encourage you to ask those questions. Also, why do we attend symposia as professional, as scholars? It's because it's a network opportunity. So these might be like-minded folks that you can be building networks for the future with. You all might be on hiring committees together. If you decide to go into academia, they could be also somebody that goes into academia. If you decide to go into medicine, they could be somebody, whatever, right? You're all going to be doing stuff. If you decide to go into industry, they could be somebody that you could be networking with professionally in industry, right? So you get a job right away.
How many hours a week do we work with our mentor?
How many hours a week do you work with your mentor?
I don't think, so for our program, for the early intervention program, you do not need, there's not a necessary amount of time to work with a mentor. It's just so you can make a connection with a mentor. For other, like for example, Europe or SPUR, it's dependent. So for SPUR, usually it's roughly around 35 hours, it's almost like a full-time
For
job.
10 weeks.
Yeah, for 10 weeks. For Europe, it's usually around 120 hours, but that schedule is created between you and the mentor. So it just depends.
Does that help? Yeah.
So back with the mentor questions now. So, office hours was mentioned as one of the ways to meet with them. Would it be, like, say that we have a professor that we would want to meet with right now? Would it be okay for us to drop in on their office hours without an email before, or is it still like, should we send that email?
If they have office hours, that means it's time for any student to drop in. I would encourage you to drop in. I do not have office hours. I do not allow students to just drop in.
Right.
I do not have time. But some professors do. They have this time just for you. I have had students who scheduled that were my students in my class where they literally scheduled to meet with me, or it would have been a drop-in, right, for some other professors. And they're like, hey, Professor Fukushima, I'm really interested in your research. What are you working on? So we talk about it. And they're like, I really want to do that. And I ended up co-authoring with that student an article that ended up in a legal journal, right? So literally, you don't know what these opportunities can turn into. Connect with your professors, find out. Some of them may actually, there's a lot of mechanical engineering and biological sciences in the room. For you all, you tend to be in fields that are more of the lab model, So you're trying to break into that lab. Have you all broken into a lab yet? You should all be trying to break into a lab, right? So those are research teams. They tend to work in teams. So you should figure out who do I need to talk to? It's usually a graduate student because they tend to be more tiered and hierarchical. Linguists, sorry, one-on-one, you just email your professor, right? No, not rarely grad students, rarely. Unless if it's a lab, there are some linguistic labs though on campus. And so that's something to kind of think about for all of you is like, if it's a research team and you look at their website and it says lab, you may actually have a better chance connecting with a graduate student or the postdoctoral fellow on the team. So not the PI, so the highest level person. You may have a better chance breaking in if you connect with those other folks.
We have another question about Shiva. Do we have to be a part of Europe to work with professors?
Europe is just one of the funding models. Our philosophy is if you do research, you should be paid for it. We are one of the resources that fund students. Other colleges may have different sources. So they may have research assistantships that you can get funded through different things like NSF, NIH. These are just words that you may not know of, right? But whatever, right? So you could have these opportunities. So it just varies. To do research on campus, there's many places you can do it. Our office is committed to the 18 colleges. We are committed to everyone wanting to do research. So the very fact that you are here, we want to encourage you to do research. And so figure out with you, how do we get you into a lab or into a research team or into an independent project where you're working on something that you are inspired and doing research. And so so did that answer that question, which is
Yes.
Great.
And then we have two more. Does our mentor have to be faculty from the university or can it be anyone knowledgeable in the field?
That is fantastic. I love it when our students do research with faculty at other universities. That happens. You can apply for research opportunities. NSF, which tends to fund a lot of STEM, engineering, science fields, tends to have opportunities and they tend to hire students from all over the place. So I encourage you, if you have that and you are really ambitious and interested in working with somebody in a different college, you're welcome to do that. It doesn't mean they will take you on. So they won't do independent study, they may not have the time. So only time they may have is to say, here's a couple articles, wonderful, good luck, right? If that's all they can give you, that's wonderful. You built a networking relationship with somebody in the field, right? And so you may one day be like, hey, do you remember me? I reached out to you, whatever, right? So I would encourage you to, it's not required though for this program or for the U. If you want to though, I've had students where they've been part of research teams that are multiple states, multiple folks. Your mentor here at the U, if you connect with somebody here at the U, may already be in research teams that are multi-state or even international. So you may already be part of that.
But they have to be at a university.
I'm sorry?
They said anyone knowledgeable in the field.
Yeah, it's recommended for our undergraduate research experience that you go with folks who are skilled researchers in the field. Some fields, like social work, may actually not require you to have a PhD to do research. So it just varies by field. But what we fund for Europe, you have to be a faculty at the U. For SPUR, it has to be the faculty that's a SPUR faculty. So what we will fund are faculty at the U. We will not fund research opportunities beyond, but we encourage it.
And then we have our last question. What if we have already met our mentor?
Then look at that, I'm done. All you have to do is fulfill the rest of it and enjoy the $500 and get on with your research, right? So that's awesome. If you've done it, then good for you. But if you haven't, don't feel stressed. You have an entire semester to connect with someone to fulfill the requirements of the programs. Once you fulfill the requirements of the programs, then you're eligible for other programs, right? Europe, SPUR, and so forth. Other questions?
Is there any requirements to join SPUR? Like, is there any pre-requirements that we need?
Oh, I love that question. Angie, are you on the Zoom? Do you want to talk about that? Are there prerequisites for SPUR?
Hi, yeah, so for SPUR, you do have to be a currently matriculated degree-seeking student. So you would have to not be graduating before December 2024. So whatever semester of summer you are participating for SPUR, so if you applied for summer 2024, you would just need to be enrolled for the following fall 2024 semester. Other than that, there are no prerequisites. You don't need to have, prior research experience to apply.
Yeah. And in fact, just know that on my end, when I'm working with Angie and I'm mentoring faculty to select students, I'm telling them it is your job to teach them. They should not come with those skills because they literally don't know how to do that. This thing, right? So, but it is your job when you apply to communicate your curiosity, any kind of skills that you've had. If it's clear they're working in research teams, your experiences of working with other people, right? Also, if there's any kinds of research that you've done or any other kind of courses that might help, then it's encouraged you kind of list that. Certain fields like, I don't know, folks who are doing like data analytics with certain software, they may want somebody who at least understands some basic math and statistics, right? Great. Other questions? Are we 5 minutes to time? Are we at time? How are we doing on time?
We're pretty good. We have about 7.
We're good. Okay. Other
Any other
questions?
questions? Any questions on the Zoom?
Internship. Somebody else, does this apply if we are already a part of a research internship over the summer?
Oh, yeah.
Why don't they connect with Jennifer? If they have, if you have very specific questions about you, I would encourage you to contribute to Jennifer. Yeah. How are you all feeling? Are you excited? You just got $500 to jump inside and attend a couple of trainings, right? How cool is that? So, and what we're really curious about is, does this lead you to then build the connections that you need to get to research opportunities? If you're ready early, great. If you're not there yet and you're trying to build those relationships, we want that feedback. We want to figure out how do we support you as our early exploration scholars with your journey so you can get in a research team or start doing research.
I have a question, like how many times do you email the professor where it's like getting like, she's not interested?
How many times do you email the same person? I would bump it up no more than twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you send an email a week later and you bump it up, you say, hey, just raising this. Then if you still no response, try it one more time a week later. At that point, you may decide to move on, but you know what happens is sometimes professors are literally like experiencing life, right? They have a crisis, they have some other commitments, they have a major deadline. They're working on a book, they have a journal that's coming up, or they're working on a huge federal grant and the deadline is in 2 weeks. So they may not be responding to you, not because they're not interested in you, but because literally your email is somewhere in the list of many things they need to see. And so they just may not have seen it. So I would encourage you to try again, but try other people, right? And then also one thing you can do, because maybe they're like, I don't have capacity to take on a student. If you feel like by the 3rd email, they have not responded, you can revise your email to say, I'm really excited to work with you. So show your enthusiasm. And then also say, but if you don't have time, I would love if you could suggest some folks that are in your field in college that would be interested in taking on a student like me who's interested in X topic, right? Because then you're giving them an out. You're saying, can you just refer me on to somebody because I love genetics? And right now it doesn't seem like you are accepting students, right? Does that help?
That does help.
Yeah. Other questions? How are folks doing? Questions? You're like, I got this, we're gonna do this. I'm really excited to see you all do research and to learn more about what happens to you. The other funding opportunities that Jennifer talked about, you are all eligible to apply for. I encourage you to take our, we're literally the office that likes to give money away. Most people like us, right? So I encourage you to apply for it. You won't be considered for it if you don't apply. You won't get it, right? But what's the worst that can happen if you try, right? And so I encourage all of you to try for our opportunities. If you experience rejection, which trust me, I'm a scholar, we get rejected all the time. Try again. You're welcome to meet with the office to schedule an appointment to get feedback so you can try it again. Because most of you are not graduating this semester, right? Most of you, because you have 60 credits versus you have some time here. So yeah, I'm excited for this. I know they all look tired. I'm like, We
No,
should
we have
never.
excited, we have excited.
We've got applause. Is there applause in the Zoom room? Thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're excited.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is exciting, folks. I want to thank you all for joining us. I want to thank Jennifer for organizing. Please contact Jennifer. We're here to support you. We want you to be successful. So see us as your resource. And if anything comes up, let us know.
Yeah.
Jelly will see you at some education series events soon. So in February onwards. Thank you, folks.
Thank you all for joining. Email me if you have any questions or we can.